Hey there, friends. I don't know anything at all, and I'd invite you to do your best to not know anything at all. Why would I be doing such a thing? I ask myself in a way where I'm pretending that you're asking me. Allegedly, Socrates once said, "The only thing I know is that I don't know anything." That's what they say that he said, so let's pretend that's true. From my perspective, there is great wisdom in the insecurity of acknowledging and embracing what we don't know. And I would invite you, the purpose of this video really is to invite you to go on a little bit of a know-it-all cleanse, cleansing yourself of your illusions of certainty, if you will. I personally really value this, which probably either means you'll really value it or you'll really find no value in it. But the invitation is to consider cleansing yourself of what you think you know, your senses of certainty. Why I really value the words of Socrates, the only thing I know is that I don't know anything. From my perspective, that keeps a person open to a world of possibilities. I believe when we construct a context of what we know, and we believe that what we think we know is actually the truth, I personally think that that creates a glass ceiling. It's what limits our growth, limits the expansion of our mind, our ideas, cycling old ideas out, embracing new ones that are bigger. So I think that becomes greatly limited when we buy into our beliefs. I love to ask people, have your beliefs, just don't believe your beliefs. And for many of us, including parts of me, it seems incredibly counterintuitive to think about the idea that embracing an I don't know-ness is actually a step of growth. Because I don't know about you, but as a child and growing up, going through school, I was awarded when I knew things. I got an A on my paper because I knew things, and I was punished when I didn't know things. I got an F there. So I'm guessing you had similar experiences where essentially you were valued when you knew things and you were unvalued when you didn't know. So this invitation is to flip the script on all that. I believe there's far more power, far more true value in what you don't know compared to what you do know. I also believe we find an incredible sense of safety and security through the illusion of certainty. And I call it the illusion of certainty for a reason. When we're certain of something, I think the only thing that I'm certain of is that we believe we're certain. What we're certain of doesn't mean that it's absolutely true. It just means we think our certainty is certain. So we get a sense of safety and stability out of that because from my perspective, our ego, it fears what we don't know. It fears the unknown. That's why we construct our comfort zones out of what's familiar to us. We have a sense of, I know about this. These beliefs, these people, these circumstances, these self-identities. It's familiar to me, so we have a sense of safety. But when we consider the idea that all growth really happens outside of our comfort zone, we might then consider dancing the dangerous dance with the idea that uncertainty becomes our best friend. It comes with the consequence of our safety, our security being shaky. It can feel very scary to be uncertain, to be afraid, to walk into the unknown. Yet I do believe it's worth it. I believe, actually, here's a specific I'd ask you to do. Take a look at what you know about yourself. Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, any other word that ends with ly. Physiologically would be another example. Take a look at what you know about yourself. All these beliefs about you. And then I'd ask you to do your best to question the living hell out of it. What if everything you think you know about you is just an illusion? How safe and secure does that make you feel? Makes me feel pretty scared, actually. But would you be willing to go there anyway? I would dare say what we think we know about ourselves is the principal limiter of us becoming a more deeper, authentic version of ourselves, of us finding the beliefs, the philosophies, the behaviors in life that are much more aligned with our own heart. So would you be willing to question your beliefs, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, about you and your life? Apply the attitude of, I really don't know. I don't know is perhaps an openness that keeps us available to all possibilities. I know is perhaps a constricted mindset that keeps us open to only the possibilities that are currently inside of our mental context. And therefore, our sense of I know creates a barrier between us and all other possibilities that we've yet to embrace. Whenever we say, I know, what I know for sure about that, says my delusional sense of self, is we're tricking ourselves. You know, you take how much are we tricked by our sense of knowing? For example, this wall, I can go knock on it and say, I know that's solid. I definitely know that's a solid wall. It's true. Yet quantum physics would say, no, that's actually not a solid wall, JP. That wall is made up of nothing but 99.99999% empty space. But my sense of certainty tricks the living hell out of me, keeps me walled off, so to speak, no pun intended, from other possibilities. So with that said, I think that's just an example of our own self, how much we can trick ourselves through our sense of knowing to self-medicate us from our anxieties about what we don't know. What if you found out that there's far more about you that you don't know compared to what you think you know? Is that scary? Is that exciting? Can you allow it to be both? So with that said, in closing, I will just invite you to see about drinking the natural medicine of the I don't know elixir and play with that, test drive it, or not. Anyway, the choice is yours. I appreciate you checking this out, taking on the invitation, or at least considering it. And what else I don't know for sure is that you should definitely maybe subscribe to my channel. And I definitely know that I don't know. I'll be looking forward to talking with you next time.